All right, so we're gonna, like that, yep. And that's it, usually Hello everyone, today we are back out here for another Will It Start, and you may see all these fuel pumps behind me and you're wondering why. And this is why we're here for, oh, it's backwards, for another freaking Will It Start. And we're starting it off here at Zephyrhills Airport. We're stopping to get some fuel because we are gonna do a Will It Start on a hand prop aircraft. Waiting on my buddy David to get over here. We're gonna go to his hangar and we're gonna pull out this airplane. It's been sitting there for about 12 to 15 years. It hasn't run, it ran when parked. So, I love those, it's my kind of special. This will be the first Will It Start I've done on a gas machine. So, let's jump right into it. Right quick, guys, just a real quick plug. We've got our Will It Start key tags up on the BruceWilsonShop.com website, and I've got a pre-order of our new Will It Start t-shirts coming out. Make sure you go check that out at BruceWilsonShop.com. I'll throw a preview of our Will It Start t-shirts. Freaking sick. Holy crap, man.
Well, here she is, class of 46.
So we weren't able to introduce David outside, guys, but this is David. This is his airplane, and can you give us some details on it? As you guys know, well, some of you may not know, I've been working on getting my pilot's license for like the past year and a half. I've been slacking, but I'm still into aviation pretty big. And David, this is his airplane that has been sitting for quite a while.
Yep.
The wind outside. So what's the details on this thing? Like, what model is it? What year is it?
Well, it's a 1946 Taylorcraft BC-12D. It was restored probably about 20 years ago. And me and my father had multiple aircraft that were vintage that we bought for fun and purchase and flying. And he passed away in 2019. And just life has kind of consumed me with everything else, as you know what that's like, busy projects. And unfortunately, we sold off a lot of the projects, and this is one that's still sitting that I want to get back to and hopefully someday start flying again myself.
Well, let's see if we can at least crank it. I'm sure you know how to crank it, but I want to like document the whole process on what it's like starting an airplane, a hand-propped airplane.
Hand-propped.
This thing does not have a starter, so this right here is the starter.
Yep. No electrical system. Everything on her is as manual as it gets.
Yeah, so this is gonna be fun. All right, so let's get to it. What do we need to do first?
All right. Well, first things first. Since it's been sitting so long, we definitely got to prime the oil system. If we don't prime the oil system, it's going to be a really bad dry start on it. So that's where we got to definitely begin.
All right. Oh my goodness, the wind is terrible. Now how do we keep it from closing on us?
Oh.
We don't?
No, we do.
Oh, there's a lock there, I see it.
Yep. Jeez. Jesus Christ. There.
All right, one door's open. All right, so first things first, David was mentioning we're going to need to check the oil in it. Obviously, that's pretty much your number one go-to thing when you do any kind of pre-flight stuff. So,
and I know the gas tank's been drained, so we definitely got to put at least a gallon of gas in it.
I got 5 gallons of fresh 100 low lead.
I can tell you by its gas gauge right here. Oh man, it's empty.
It is?
It's got
some in it.
Does it?
It's bouncing.
It can't be much of anything, or it's probably bad, but yeah, it does.
Let's smell it. Still smells like lead. Tastes like lead. All right, so we got fuel in it. Hey, I mean, it might be bad, might be good.
Yeah.
It'll either spit and sputter or it won't.
Yeah, it's been in there a long time.
So you leave this off or take that back off?
No, it needs to stay on for venting.
Okay.
This is the storage cap, and that's a flying
So what engine's in this thing?
This has got a Continental.
So check it from the other side, it'd be a little bit easier to see.
Yeah. This has got a
four-cylinder.
A four-cylinder A60.
Wow, this thing looks brand new.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. This plane was restored years ago. It's an A65 Continental, 65 horse.
That's all it takes to get in the sky. 65 horsepower. Pretty crazy. And my 172 Cessna is 145 horsepower, 6-cylinder. So it's basically the same on both sides right here. You got 2 spark plugs on each cylinder up top, 2 on the bottom, so 2 spark plugs per cylinder. It's just redundancy in case something happens there. You still got a little bit more spark.
Yep, dual mag.
Dual mag. Where do we check the oil at on this thing?
On this one?
Right here in the oil cap?
Right down there. Yep.
So it's in the oil cap. Hold about 4 quarts?
5.
Oh. She got four in it.
Yeah,
She's
little-
perfect.
little
Looks nice
dirty,
and pretty. We're checking oil. People get on me so hard about when we do Will It Start videos about not checking oil. We're checking. Well, it's a diesel engine. You know, they're kind of forgiving. These, not so much.
No. Yeah, no, nothing like being in the air without oil.
All right, so we can close these back up, right?
Yeah. The only thing we have to do too is check the gascolator before we start. Get
And
any.
that's underneath or through
It's
here?
under the cowl here.
Oh, okay. Next thing we're going to check now is called the gascolator. That's where the fuel comes out of the tank, which is actually right up here. Usually it's up in the wings up here, and that's where fuel comes down. That's where any trash might settle down in there, or water or anything like that. So we're going to check it, drain it. It's kind of hard to see, so we're not going to get that on camera, but we're going to get that done, and then we need to prime the oil system, right?
Yep.
We'll do a quick little tour of the cabin right quick too. All right, wow. This thing's in really nice shape, David.
Thank you.
Really nice. How many hours are on the airframe?
It's since restoration, and then I know the tack went out. What do you got right there?
It says 2 hours on the tack.
That's on the tack time. The airframe itself's probably about 1,500.
Are these the brakes down here on the floor?
Yep. Manual heel brakes.
Good Lord.
Manual brakes. though.
Manuel? I
Manual.
don't know if I could fit in this thing. It's so tiny. What's like cruise speed on this thing? Like 85 mile an hour, something like that?
85.
In a straight line.
Steam gauges.
Yeah.
Very basic bird.
Good Lord, this will be up in my chest. All right, let's do a quick walkthrough on the rest of the bird. See what kind of shape it's in from been sitting for a while, the dust. Certificate of Airworthiness. July 5th, 1957. Is that what year this thing is?
No, it's a 46. It's just that was when the last certificate was issued on it, and it's still valid.
Oh yeah, oh, I mean, yeah, they're always valid. They don't expire. Cool. Oh, you can see down through the fuselage there. There's like a window. Oh, you can definitely see really good on camera too. Cool. All right, let's walk around and check the outside of this thing, then we'll work on getting her started. Right. So you were telling me that the Bedford Airways, that's who originally bought this plane brand new?
Yep. The mayor of Bedford wanted to start his own flight school, and he had his own airport, so he bought a bunch of Arancas and Taylor Crafts and Cubs and all those vintage birds, and this is one of the original trainers that they had back in 46. Yeah, she's a bit dirty.
We should come out and give this thing like a good washing just to like bring it back to life. You guys can't really tell, but how dirty the top of these wings are. It's like a little bit of mold and dust and it's just been caked on there for so long. All right, well, here it is. Let's work on priming it up, I guess. And what do we need to do first?
Basically, just get the tail up. We got a bulkhead on each side of the tail. We're going to lift it up, and we're going to stand it on its nose and just hold it there for a minute. We're going to get the oil to come forward in the motor.
Is that what these handles are for right here?
Well, they're meant for moving it and also that.
Okay.
So let's take the prop real quick and put it horizontal. All right, so before we do anything, since this thing is manually propped, you do not ever want to turn the prop unless you can verify that the mags are off and they are not hot, or this engine does have the capability of starting had it been started anytime recently.
Yeah, for sure. So we've already checked that. The mags are not hot. They are in the off position. And now our prop is horizontal. So when I pick it up, it's not going to hit the ground.
All right, let's prime the oil system. All right, ready?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go.
Is it as heavy as you thought?
At first, a little bit, I guess.
So
Heck,
that's
we
it.
can go even, I mean, you're...
We don't want to hit the roof of the hangar either.
That's true. Are we good? Yeah, we're good.
So that's it. We're just going to hold it forward here, keep it this way for a minute or so.
A minute?
Yeah, we got to
Hold this thing for a minute?
It's nose heavy. And we just want that oil to come forward and...
Soak up all the front of the engine, the bearings, everything else. Is this the cam on top of the engine or on the bottom of the engine? This is the Continental?
Continental.
So the cam's on the bottom, so it's always soaking in oil. That's good.
Yep. This is an old-time trick that they've used since the 1930s on a lot of aircraft. Old flight schools used to do this all the time.
Now, does this thing have fuel in the tanks or in the wings also? Because I see a petcock.
This does have optional wing tanks, this bird. I've never actually used them, and I don't even know if...
That'd be if you're just like one really skinny dude full of fuel just flying somewhere.
Your gross weight on this thing is dismal at best, and at 65 horse, nowadays could be one fat guy in full tanks.
Yeah.
That's it.
Aaron's back there waving.
All right, well, that should do it. She should be fine.
Do we want to pull the chocks out and turn it straight while we've got it up?
Yeah, that's probably a great idea.
All right. Even the rope on these wheel chocks is like...
Hang on. There.
All right, so we'll put it right out here.
Yep.
And we'll try to bring it around that way, yeah?
I see the golf course has struck yet another one.
Yeah. All right, you think I could pick it up and pull it out by myself?
I think you can do that. Just watch the wing on this side.
We clear?
We're clear. I won't let it hit.
Inches.
Inches.
Wow.
It's a big wing.
All right.
Go
Set her
ahead.
down.
Might as well pull it out the rest of the way if it does get a little wet. Worst thing it did was get a shower.
Okay. We'll just roll it out, yeah?
Yeah.
Film it, Aaron? There we go. All right, Mr. David. Is that okay to lay it right there?
Yeah. Not going to hurt the paint on this thing at this point.
You want to
Yeah.
direct our funnel?
Sure will.
Put a few gallons of fresh fuel in it, maybe it'll mix with the old fuel. Probably wouldn't hurt to drain the fuel that was in here, but
Gotta love the smell of 100 low lead.
I love the smell of this stuff. We should make an air freshener.
Better than race fuel.
I agree. It's crazy how this stuff like evaporates off your hands too, so easily. All right, we got about 1.5 gallons. What do you think?
Yeah, it shouldn't need that.
All right, let's put this safe distance away from the aircraft. All right, so David pointed out a very good key feature here. The remove before flight on here, because obviously, well, you want to remove it before you try to start it, but obviously it's in the off mode because there's no key in it. So we're going to remove that, and while we go through the procedure of priming the engine back up with oil and fuel.
Mm-hmm.
So do we need to do anything with the fuel? Do we need to push this in the on position?
We're gonna turn fuel on for right now. Yep.
For now, okay.
Might as well get it flowing.
Fuel on.
Yep. How do you like that safety?
Yeah.
We're not going to prime yet because I'm going to pull the prop through a few times just because we had the oil tip forward just so we don't get any kind of locking of anything, whether it's oil or fuel.
In the cylinders, yeah.
Yep, and that way it blows it out, and then we'll start priming and see if she fires.
All right, let's do it. Can I do it?
Yeah, you can do it,
So
but I'm going to go over kind of the prepping to hand propping. There's
Okay.
two ways to do it. There's either do it from the front side or do it from the back side. For safety reasons, I always prefer the back side. Some people will tell you it's wrong, but in 20 years of flying with my pops, we always did the back side.
So how do we do that from right here? There's two people doing it then?
Nope. For right now, just for the oil system, if you want, I'll turn it through, you turn it through.
Okay. It definitely spins a lot easier than I was expecting.
Yeah.
I can see where it would
Here the fluid's moving.
Yep. That popping noise you hear is the couplers on the magnetos, right?
Yep. Those are your impulse couplings, and those are what actually fire the mags. And if those mags were hot,
It would be
this thing
firing.
could possibly fire.
I've never hand propped an airplane before.
Never?
I would never see anyone do one in person either.
Really? All right, well, the biggest thing is now it's turned over. We know the cylinders are clear. It's had at least 4 turns. You're always looking for a compression stroke. You always hand prop from a compression.
Okay.
So, like I said, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either do it from the front side or the back. I'll show you the front just because you put your hands on the prop.
Open-handed.
Open-handed. You never grip the prop. You
Yeah.
never roll your fingers unless you want to lose them.
Yep.
Open hand the prop. Some people use the leg trick. I prefer really not to because
Then
now
your head's going down.
because your head's going down. I just kind of keep my leg a little up and throw yourself back.
All right, so while the key's off, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
here we go. Hands open. Oh yeah, we got this. And then usually someone's in there holding the brake, right?
Someone's always holding the brakes and someone's at the throttle just in case.
All right, so we're gonna, like that, yep. And that's it, usually I just,
yep, and
hopefully.
then from behind, how I've done it, from years of my dad and me and Cubs and Arankas and Taylor Crafts, my procedure, again, some people might say it's wrong, I grab the wing root,
yep.
I chalk the wheel, right hand right onto the prop, again flat, and I do it one stroke from behind, and it usually always gets it once it's primed up.
All right.
And that way you're always behind the prop, and even if the aircraft did run away, the worst you're gonna do is get a wing strut in your back versus getting run over.
By a propeller.
By a propeller, which might hurt.
For sure. All right, so what next? Do we need to prime the fuel up?
Let's prime the fuel system up.
All right, let's go back in there and prime it up. It's very similar to my Cessna. We're gonna pull.
You're gonna feel when, see if right now it's going easy because there's no fuel in the line.
Yep.
Feel when fuel comes in, it's gonna start getting tight.
Hopefully.
I hope. Well, fuel's on, so.
There it goes.
There you go. You feel flow now? All right, that should be more than enough. We'll look at the front of the carburetor on the engine and see if there's anything dripping out.
As much as I want to be out here propping the plane, someone has to sit inside the plane, hold the brakes and control the throttle and turn the mags on. So I'm gonna hop in there and do that. David's gonna try to get this thing going, and then maybe once we get it starting, then maybe I can try to do it myself.
Absolutely.
Once we know we can kind of control the environment. All right, so I'm gonna hop in there and you give it a go. I don't know if I can fit. This is gonna be really tight. You know, back in like the 1940s, people were much smaller, I feel like, or they weighed a lot less. All right. Feet are on the brakes. I'm listening for your commands.
Alrighty. Do you have the biggest thing we got to specify? Mags hot, mags cold. When you say mags hot, that means that this engine is live and it could run. Mags cold means off, or if I say mags cold, that means shut them off.
All right.
All right. Clear prop.
Brakes on. Well, we knew it wasn't going to be this easy. Come on. Not even a puff. Do you think we should check the fuel again or something?
Yeah, we should probably try and reprime it again. It's still probably dry.
All right, I'm going to prime it up, Aaron. Come in here and see if we can get it on camera again. All right, we got 5 primes in. Let's try it again.
All right.
Mags hot.
Mags
Clear
hot.
prop. Brakes down. Let's
right.
pray.
Ready?
All right, hit it. Uh-oh, it's doing something. Let's go.
We got some kick. Ready?
Yep.
Mag's still hot?
Mag's hot. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. She's trying. Oh my goodness.
Come on,
what
baby.
are the chances? We got
coming back to life.
We got oil pressure. We got oil pressure. Check that out.
Trying. Give it a little gas. Watch for the prop.
All right, so we're sitting here. We've got good oil pressure. It's actually pretty high, actually. It's like 37, 38, almost 40 pounds of pressure.
That is pretty high for these engines because once they heat up, they drop down to about 15, 20.
Our altimeter's a little off. This altimeter is so old, it's crazy how how you set the...
Well, you see how it is reverse rotation.
Yeah.
I mean, this is advanced technology for 1946, right after the war.
So how do we shut it off? There is no fuel mixture.
You can either
shut fuel off.
You either can shut fuel off and let the bowl run dry, or just shut the mags off.
Well, we'll shut fuel off and see what it does.
It's gonna take a little while to run dry.
All right. Shut the mags off like a dang old tractor.
Yep.
All right, so I want to try to hand prop it now. You gonna sit in here?
Yeah.
All right. Now I gotta try to get out. Don't film me. You're gonna see my underwear. Jesus.
It's just a sling with a cushion on it.
All right, I'm out.
All right, you ready?
On your command.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Fuel on.
Fuel is back on. Mags are hot.
Clear propeller. It's so easy. There's like nothing to it. I can't believe how, you know, there's a big difference between like av fuel and like your normal fuel you get at like gas stations, stuff like that. There's no ethanol
Right.
in avgas, so it lasts a lot longer, kind of like diesel fuel, things like that, because there's no ethanol, which is corn based, and that causes things to rot and go bad. You ever see that video? I think we've seen floating around Facebook where the guy's in like a Cub, Piper Cub, and the engine shuts off and they just reach out around it and hand prop it from the side of the airplane. I'll have to find that and throw it in the video.
I do it. I'll give you an example of that.
When you're in the air and it shut off.
Not in the air,
That's
but I know what
They
you're
were like
talking about.
in the air and they hand propped it and got it going.
Yeah, I guess turn on the fuel. Turn the mags on? Yeah. All right, can you go start the engine? You got to get it going. Yeah, you got it. Get lower. Thanks. All right, perfect. That's a good safety harness right there.
All right, so the rain is coming, guys. Our Taylor Craft starts and runs. Shout out to David for letting us come out and do a wheel start on this thing. It's been sitting in here. We've got a few other airplanes in the back there. We may come back and do some wheel starts on, or what do you guys think? Should we come back out and clean this plane up and make it look brand new again and get it airworthy and maybe, who knows, fly it? Does that sound crazy?
I don't think that's crazy.
I don't know. I've really got to finish my pilot's license and quit goofing off. But, all right, well, the rain's coming. Let's get this thing pushed in. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Shout out to David for letting us come out here and play with his airplane. And are you happy to have this thing running again?
Actually, I'm ecstatic. That's the first time it's ran in a long time, and it's nice to hear it run and know that it sounds good still.
Seriously, I had no idea it runs so smooth. Like, it's just so nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And to get it back airworthy, get an annual, there's lots of things need to be checked out. We probably wouldn't hurt to have the prop checked and things like that. You know, go through the plugs, do an oil change after you get it. Probably getting it hot and then drain the oil.
Yep.
So all that stuff that can break loose in there has been.
Well, these are so old they don't even have oil filters.
Yeah,
It has an oil screen.
Just like my Continental, my Cessna has a screen. Pretty crazy. But things were made a lot better back then, you know.
And more simplistic.
Yep. All right, so let's get this thing pushed back in. You guys let us know in the comments. Should we come back out, get this thing washed up, and get it in the air? Let me know. All right, until next time, sweetheart. David and I were on our way out, and there is a, what year do you think this thing is?
1944-45 World War II PBY Catalina.
Look at this thing. It's been stationed here. Well, I think it was at Lakeland, right?
Yeah,
It was at the air show.
It was at Sun and Fun.
And they had an engine issue, you said?
Yeah.
This video doesn't do it justice. This is a big airplane. Seaplane. Like freaking glass.